I jumped out of a window and died while imitating
yes.
a TV stunt,
Yes,
TV
yes.
stunt in an
Yeah.
advertisement. Another was grievously injured trying to fly like Shaktiman in
Yes,
TV serial.
yes, yeah, I know.
How should we protect our children?
I think after these incidents, now it's mandatory for such ads to give a warning saying do not try this or whatever. But of course, children will not read it. It's not even on screen long enough to read. The only way we can protect children is to warn them. This is another entire issue that you can talk for hours on, about letting children watch the various kinds of programs. And the other thing is you can give feedback to the producers or the TV channels. Now under the new broadcasting rules, you can tell them if something is offensive or dangerous or inappropriate.
They
Keep
keep running that on
running
TV.
that strip
Yes.
at the bottom. So you can tell them this is a dangerous stunt. I don't think you should be carrying this, because only if you give feedback, the advertisers will know how you react.
Madam, Sweden, I believe, has banned all TV advertisements aimed at children. Germany has an entire batch of bicycle helmets for children recalled after they were found substandard.
Okay, yeah.
We do have broadcasting codes and laws for protecting consumers,
Yes.
but we haven't thought of initiating imaginative measures to develop consumer consciousness among children.
That's very true, I agree with you. But that is why there is a small move now to inculcate consciousness about consumer protection among school children. I think the Karnataka state government had a project, and some of us went from school to school conducting small programs. And the point is, we shouldn't lecture to them, that becomes boring. If you turn it into a small play or interactive session, do a drama and then bring home the point, then it goes on very well. In fact, I remember one student in one school, this was in North Bangalore, he stood up at the end of my experiment or talk and then said, "Madam, if cola drinks are bad, then why do people like Amir Khan and Sachin Tendulkar, why do they promote it?" That was such a good question, and I didn't have an answer. So following that, we wrote to many of these people who appear in advertisements, Kapil Dev, Gavaskar, Amitabh Bachchan, many of these, Tendulkar also. And I think only Bachchan replied saying that, I never thought about it, I will think about it in future. So it is also partly, the commercial angle. They do it, they just say whatever they want to say because
Without
they get paid
realizing.
huge amounts. And these endorsements are much more than what they earn from their film, acting or cricket. So that is a sad state of affairs, and we just have to keep pushing at children.
Madam, it seems children in a Bangalore school did a project where they counted the number of pages in notebooks
yes.
and found that there were only 186
Yeah.
instead of 200 printed on
Oh,
the cover.
where did you get this?
I got it. Don't you think such projects help develop consumer consciousness among
Absolutely,
children?
because I started this thing. This was some 15 years ago when we had a national seminar called Children as Consumers. I was part of that, and we had children participating, more than 100 children participating from different schools. And we sat and thought about what would interest them. So we said, let's do experiments. We picked up pencils. And some pencils, if you go on sharpening them, the lead will keep breaking. So we asked them, is this good? It's a nuisance. That means it is substandard, it's not good enough. What can you do? Boycott that brand. Go for a better one. Or complain to the manufacturer or whatever. Then notebooks. I started the one. I said, look, the cover says 200 pages.
I saw your website and
See, I started this experiment. I do a lot of experiments with children. So I gave them notebooks and said, count. And they were very happy participating. And they counted and said, ma'am, there is only 186. And then some had 192. When I asked the manufacturer, he said, oh, you count both sides of the cover also. Now they cannot do it. You will notice some manufacturers, they actually say 192 pages or 96 pages. So they are scared. So this is the way to clean up things, by asserting our rights.
Madam, children learn young, and if the sellers seek to catch them young, why shouldn't we catch them young too? arm them against practices and pressures that are not in their best interest. I mean the children. How to arm children with consumer awareness?
By carrying out more projects like this. The British school thought of putting a tooth into a glass of cola and not giving them any comments at all. They just watch the next morning and they say, where's the other part of the tooth? Why is it smaller? Where does it disappear? They gave their own answers. And this notebook thing, our children were so excited to say, gotcha, you know, that kind of thing. They have a sense of achievement. Like that we can do many, many things. I do these at schools. And then once it sinks in at that age, I think in my experience, the children are the best receptors. They respond much more readily than adults.
So, but we should know how to make them aware of.
It's not difficult
what
if you
style?
make it interesting.
Interesting.
If you lecture them, they get bored, of course. But there are hundreds of ways of making
you have
it
done it.
interesting.
You have done
Yes, you can make them do experiments like dropping a tooth in cola, making them count notebook pages, or sharpen pencils and see that they keep on breaking, and then sweets outside. Many things. You can show them videos. There are videotapes available on many issues, on quality control, substandard, whatever. They are also available from CRC. They have about 40 to 50 videotapes that are available.